Hey there, this is Pat Strubbe, founder of Preservation Specialists. You know, over 1,000 days have passed since February 19th, 2020, the peak of the stock market as the world began to shut down. Now, if your nest egg has been broadly diversified over the last few years, you've avoided the bulk of the wild stock and bond market swings. Depending on the details of your allocation, your portfolio has held its value and generated dividends similar to what was projected. They may not have gained as much as was predicted in 2019, but on the whole, pretty good considering the absolutely crazy chaos that would occur over the next 1,000 days. Now, how did we investors who actually captured this return in real life do so? Well, to paraphrase those old Smith-Barney commercials, we earned it. And how do we earn it? By persisting through 1,000 days of chaos in the ultimate heroic act. We stood fast. That may sound silly, but it's true. Sometimes the most difficult thing to do is to stand firm while the rest of the world is screaming about all the things you should be worrying about. Please always remember that financial journalism is a business, and that business is selling advertising. It will do everything in its power to frighten you into watching your portfolios minute by minute. They cannot allow you, even for a moment, to take a long-term perspective, because if you do, you may stop watching or clicking on it. All that financial journalism cares about is one thing: clickbait. It will devote a huge amount of time, space, and resources to covering fads. Let's take a quick moment to look at those fads from the last 1,000 days. First, the boom and bust of crypto. The crypto moment I will never forget was this year's Super Bowl, when all those high-profile celebrities and athletes in commercial after commercial said that I was missing out. I couldn't help but think of one thing: the Super Bowl on January 30th, 2000. That was a Super Bowl filled with commercials by .com companies. They spent that evening telling us how great they were, when we came to realize later on that many of them used the last of their cash to buy those commercials. Does anyone remember Pets.com? Now, every single one of those .com companies didn't go belly up, but most of them did. Time will tell if the same is true of crypto companies. Of course, Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX were a recent example. If you don't recognize his name, he was commonly referred to as the 30-year-old crypto billionaire. I say was because at one time his net worth was estimated to be $26 billion. On just November 8th, he was still estimated to be worth over $15 billion. 3 days later, he placed FTX into bankruptcy, and bringing his estimated net worth down to $0. Do I mention all of this to say you can't make money in crypto or that's a scam? No, not at all. However, it's good to be reminded crypto is not an investment. An investment is something that performs an economic function, such as stocks, bonds, apartment buildings, or farmland. Since crypto doesn't perform an economic function, it's merely a speculation. That doesn't mean you have to stay away, but it does mean if you get involved, please be very careful. Crypto was in a class by itself, but there were a number of others. We had the FANGs, a handful of huge tech stocks that were held to be safe even to the pandemic's closing down of the real economy. These were regarded to be immune to economic devastation and could only go up, and there was no price too high to pay for them. Of course, since then the stocks have been crushed and the companies are initiating massive layoffs. A closely related phenomenon took place among the work-from-home stocks. It became fashionable to assume we'd all be in Zoom meetings all day forever while pedaling on our Peloton cycles and getting all of our food necessities delivered to us. Of course, the pandemic ended and the stocks went down 70 to 80%. Perhaps you heard about Kathy Wood and her ARK Innovation portfolio. Her portfolio started in March of 2020 at $44 a share and skyrocketed during that year to over $137 a share. All the while, Miss Wood became a media darling for her ability to see the future. As of this writing, the portfolio has crashed to under $36 a share. To summarize, if during the last 3 years you didn't lose money in crypto or chasing hot stocks, congratulations, and be thankful. And remember these lessons the next time the financial journalists are shouting at you about the next big thing you need to do or to worry about. Remember, there's nothing wrong with being a boring investor focused on achieving your long-term goals.